Hello and welcome, fantasy managers, and welcome to the Zone of Weakness, brought to you by Ghana Football Fantasy, powered by Fantasy Football Scout. Welcome, Bethany, who had a fantastic week, I can tell you, and she has finally overtaken me. And yeah, I don't know about me. I'm kind of stuck in a limbo. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Welcome. Good to see
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for having me again. It's good to be back.
All right. How was your game week?
Yes, I think for once I can finally come on here and say, I feel like I had a really good week, which was really nice. Yes, I've been stuck in the kind of 600, 700,000s for what seems like weeks. And I finally made it to my best, my highest position since game week 5. So I captained Saka, which went down really well as a differential. I owned @Nuri for his assist, clean sheet, and bonus points. So yeah, it went down really well. And Branthwaite for his goal. So I think there are quite a few differentials coming off for me. So I went from about 620k to 440k. So finally heading in the right direction, and hope that I can reach that top 100,000. What about you? Not quite as good a week, unfortunately.
No, I was on a green arrow until Bowen decided to do a hat trick, and I thought like he's not going to hurt me
Oh no.
anyway. But then when this morning I just checked live FPL, I saw like okay, I'm on a red arrow, and it was Bowen because of his hat trick. So yeah, I just don't know. I'm stuck. I'm stuck, and I just either it's 400,000 or either it's 700,000. So in between, I'm stuck. But anyway, you were quite behind, and now you have overtaken. So which is great. Glad that at
It
least
is
things are
possible
going
though.
good for you.
It gives people hope that it's possible.
Yeah, no, it is possible. It is possible, and I've been stuck in this position for since game week 12. I don't know why, and I've made poor decisions, of course. So it's not like entirely like I'm not aware of what's happening. I did make poor decisions, but I think though I've corrected those. But yeah, it's still things are not really going my way, I would say. But anyway, let's not worry about it too much because we got to do the zonal, and here it is. And let's see if the zonal is going to help me this time because I made my transfers last week based on the zonal and it did work out, so that's great. But yeah. Uh, so just to let the audience know that all the data that you see here are from the Fantasy Football Scout members area, and in case you are interested in getting the membership, click on the link in the description section, and you will get a 20% discount and have access to the all the articles and all the data that you need. There are pretty interesting articles, pretty analytical articles that gives you quite sort of proper information in terms of where you can take the decision and how you can use it. And I think, yeah, it's worth the investment. So please do go ahead. Um, moving on, Bethany, this is the slide.
Yep.
And what do you think about this?
Loads to cover here. So I'll start with Arsenal at the top. I think if you haven't got Saka now, he needs to be a priority in. He's got that fallback. I think Arsenal are looking great. They're definitely on for the title challenge. They're up for it. So yeah, obviously he's ranked third for left flank crosses conceded there. I think he could do really well against Sheffield this week. Martinelli, Trossard, and Odegaard are also all up there. Obviously, they're great differentials. I personally would rather have a triple up of Arsenal, including both Saliba and Gabriel. I think they offer both the clean sheets, especially against someone like Sheffield, but they've also both popped up with goals recently. So I'd probably go Saka, Gabriel, and Saliba rather than doubling up on attackers. But yeah, Arsenal are looking great to invest in. Man City, again, looking great from the zonal weakness here. Haaland, 4th, 5th for chances conceded. KDB and Foden ranked 1st on the left flank, chances conceded and crosses conceded, which is really interesting, I think, especially this week, as a lot of people obviously have been fed up of KDB at the moment, myself included as an owner, who's got like 3 points in the last 3 games or something. But I don't think you can look at this data and sell him. He's had his rest now. So I think keep him. He's a keep if you already own him, definitely. And then you can make your decision after this week. But yeah, Man City look like they should do really well this week.
I'll hold you accountable for that.
Yeah, if he gets benched again, he's gone ASAP out of my team.
I'll hold you accountable. I'll probably tweet about it. Thanks, Bethany, for the wonderful advice. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, anyway. Please
Then
continue.
we've got West Ham, who obviously came out of nowhere last night for Bowen to get his hat trick back into some form after I think about 6 or 7 blanks in a row, and obviously looks good here from the zonal weakness too. So I think maybe now is the time to reinvest. I think the key thing here is it wasn't probably a fluke last night. They've got Paqueta back, which just makes a huge difference to the way that they play, and that confidence that they've got. So Bowen could be a great bit of a differential at the moment, and I think he's good for those people who aren't free hitting in 29, as I think West Ham have got a game guaranteed. So again, great there. We've got Chelsea as well, and Parma especially standing out for me here, ranked 5th for chances conceded down the left flank and 4th for crosses conceded. I know quite a few people have sold Parma, myself included, over recent weeks to kind of go for the doubles, that kind of thing, when Chelsea had poorer fixtures. But the fixtures are turning now, so I think Parma could be somebody great to get back in, especially if you are wanting to free up some funds for when Salah gets back into your team, or if you're wanting to go for Son, that kind of thing. He's obviously fairly cheap. So yeah, some good shouts there. Brentford, obviously, were really disappointing last night against West Ham. Reguilon came away with the -1 points, yellow card, conceded 4 goals. So I definitely wouldn't be investing in them, I think. They're not looking great. Tony, again, isn't looking too bad on here. Like, he's ranked 6th, so it's just outside our range. If you own him, he could be a keep if you're desperate, but I'd rather move him on for someone like 𝐸. Solanke's got Burnley this week and then a double coming up, so I'd rather move him on, I think. And then interestingly, obviously Watkins in Villa, even against somebody like Luton, which you might have thought would have been a decent game, actually he's looking okay. He's ranked 6th, so just outside. I'd definitely be keeping Watkins and be playing him anyway.
Okay, let's see what the next slide looks like. Okay, here it is. What stands out?
There we go. There's Solanke that I've just mentioned. I think he's a must-have again. He's so cheap. Great game against Burnley this week, and then the double coming up as well. So I'd be bringing him in either for someone like Tony, for Darwin, who's still injured, didn't play midweek. Don't think he even made the bench. So yeah, somebody like Solanke could be a great third forward alongside Haaland and Watkins, I think. Interestingly here, obviously, Liverpool play Forest this week, and none of the players are standing out here from the zonal weakness, which might surprise some people. It surprises me a little bit, as I was originally planning on wildcarding this week to bring back Salah for this game. But obviously, we're not sure about his injury status yet either, so he's probably in a void for now too. On here, I think Diaz is looking the best choice, obviously there for 8th, but I wouldn't be targeting any Liverpool players this week. Looking at the stage, I think there's better teams to target this week. Similarly, I've heard a lot of talk, especially on Twitter, about people wanting to bring in Son this week for KDB, who we've already mentioned. And whereas KDB looks like he's got a great week from the zonal perspective this week, actually Son's isn't anything particularly to write home about. Ranked 8th and 14th for crosses conceded and chances conceded. So again, I think I'd not be rushing into buying any Spurs players this week. If you already own them, that's fine to play them, but I wouldn't be rushing there. Newcastle are becoming my Man United, I think. They're looking like a bit of a disaster. And so even though the chances conceded looks like it might be quite a good week for Isaac, Gordon and Barnes, I'd not go there. I think teams are running around them easily at the moment, scoring so many goals. They're not looking like the team that we know. So yeah, they're in a void for me. Interesting, and maybe some good news for people who brought in Hwang last week and were disappointed. He's ranked 2nd. So I think, again, I'd probably hold him. Wouldn't be rushing to buy him if I didn't already own him. But if you bought him last week for the game, I think he's definitely a hold. No need to sell him quickly. And then finally, we've got Brighton, who play Fulham this week. And I think the one that stands out there for me is Gross. I unfortunately managed to pick, I think, the 2 or 3 weeks in a row where Gross didn't get anything this season to own him and then sold him. And either side of that period, he's done really well. And he looks to be back on it again now. So I think, Gross could be, again, another great 4th or 5th midfielder. Not too expensive, but seems to be involved in everything and looks great for the zonal this week.
Yeah, thanks for that interesting analysis on Son and KDB, to be honest. I was one of them who was thinking about it, but I think you've kind of convinced me a little bit not to do it. So yeah, if things go wrong,
no pressure.
I know exactly. No. I know exactly where to find you. Sorry, but anyway, because things are not really going right in my direction, so I'm just looking for a scapegoat. Sorry, and probably I'll just find you. Yeah. Okay. No, jokes aside, let's move to the team of the week.
Yep. I think that midfield really stands out for me here. We've already talked about them all, I think, apart from maybe Foden. So yeah, Saka, I think, is a no-brainer at the moment. You've got to own him. He's getting double-digit hauls regularly, and Arsenal just in general are looking so good. Bowen, obviously, most of us sold quite a long time ago, and he's not been in form. But I think I'd be happy to reinvest in him now that I've seen what they got up to the other night, and with Paqueta back, Paqueta being the key. Palmer, again, I think he's a great shout, both for this week and going forward. And Foden, again, I think a lot of people were brought triple Man City in for the double that they had and were disappointed, and we're thinking maybe about selling Foden, but he's looking great. He seems to be starting all the time, which is not something we often can rely on from Pep, but he does. He seems to be being favoured, and he's looking really good. Got the goal this week and bonus points. So yeah, I think moving towards any of those players would be good moves this week. Watkins and Haaland, I really like. I think probably my third forward spot goes to Solanke, I'm afraid. So Jackson wouldn't be my transfer of choice this week, even if the zonal suggests it. I'd rather bring in Palmer, I think, and he's just been more consistent generally across the season. From a defensive point of view, I think I just don't want to waste my transfers at the moment on defensive transfers, because so many people have been letting in so many goals. You're losing points and clean sheet points all over the place. You've got to be kind of positive about getting attacking returns, which someone like Emerson did this week, which is great, but it's probably unlikely he's going to repeat it 2 weeks in a row. And I'm just not, as an Areola owner, I don't trust West Ham's defence still. Similarly, Villa's defence has been a bit disappointing. So Cash can get attacking returns, but I don't think I'd be wasting any transfers on any of the defenders this week. I'd be going for those attackers where you can get more points, I think, and the upsides there.
Okay. I was about to ask you your opinion about Jackson there in the team of the week, but in case you didn't touch upon it, but since you did, I'm not going to talk about it. But anyway, thank you so much. I mean, I think this kind of wraps it up, to be honest. But thank you so much, Bethany, and thank you, audience, for joining us again. Please do give us all your support by subscribing and, of course, sharing with your friends on Twitter. And we would appreciate, we are still growing, and we would love to get all the support from you. But until then, we'll see you till the next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Right.